Hi, this is Nicholas Bell with Eye on Cinema, here to review Night Shift, the latest film from perennial French auteur Anne Fontaine, which Distrib Films is releasing December 18th, 2020. Premiered at the 2020 Berlin International Film Festival out of competition. If you're familiar with Anne Fontaine, she basically has a film a year, if not every other year. This one is based on a novel by Hugo Boris, adapted by Claire Barré, and is, in short, tells the story of three Parisian police officers charged with escorting a refugee to Charles de Gaulle, where he will be deported to Tajikistan. They learn on the way that he most likely will be murdered once he sets foot in his native country, and so arguing back and forth about whether or not to set him free. Ultimately, it's an interesting conversation piece. I think more effective, definitely more intimate than Lajli's celebrated Les Miserables. And the performances are all quite well done. Virginia Fira stars as Virginie, who's having an affair with her co-worker Aristide, played by Omar Sy. The stakes are very heightened here, perhaps even ridiculously so, because she's pregnant with his child after having just given birth 18 months ago, and so the next morning she's going to have an abortion. They are paired with Eric, played by Gregory Gadebois, who is quite excellent in the last film directed by Francois Dupeyron, Our Time Will Come, and they have to convince him, he's kind of straight-laced and never does anything incorrectly. They convince him to do the right thing, per se. The refugee Tohirab is played by Peyman Madi, who doesn't speak their language, doesn't speak English, and he barely gets any lines of dialogue, definitely that aren't subtitled, so as an English speaker, you'll have no idea what he's saying. It's kind of interesting because Peyman Madi, who of course was in Asghar Farhadi's A Separation, plays something very similar in Camp X-Ray, opposite Kristen Stewart as a prisoner in Guantanamo Bay. Overall, the structure of it is set up in a way where the three cops each get their own chapter heading in the first half of the film, and we replay certain instances throughout their day from each of their perspectives, which I think sets up the film a bit incorrectly, and it almost could have been done away with in that fashion. However, Paris by Night is shot exquisitely by Yves Angelot, the three-time César Award winner. I think Afira is quite an interesting French actress. You can see her trying to take roles that shy away from how beautiful she is. In this, she reminded me kind of 1960s era Piper Laurie. Once again, Anne Fontaine does some familiar things, like we have Virginie dancing to No Scrubs, which of course is reminiscent of Isabelle Huppert dancing to Kelly Rowland in My Worst Nightmare. The original title was Police, which I think the English language translation to Night Shift, although generic, does differentiate it from two other notable French films that have that same title, including Maurice Pilas' 1985 Police, starring Gerard Depardieu and Sophie Marceau, which Catherine Breillat wrote, and of course Maïwenne's celebrated 2011 film Police. Overall, I would give Anne Fontaine's Night Shift 3 out of 5 stars. Thank you.
Hey, this is Eric from EyeOnCinema.com. If you want to support us, subscribe below. For more reviews, interviews, film festival coverage from Sundance, Cannes, Toronto, you want to check out these guys on this side.